Imagine waking up every morning full of energy, clarity, and confidence, knowing that the way you start your day sets the tone for everything that follows. That is the promise of the Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, a life-changing guide that teaches how small, intentional actions each morning can completely transform your life. Most people start their day in chaos. The alarm goes off, they hit snooze, check their phone, and immediately feel rushed, anxious, or behind. The day feels like something that happens to them rather than something they create. But what if you could design your morning to give you peace, focus, and momentum before the world even wakes up? That is the idea behind the Miracle Morning, a simple routine that empowers you to start every day with purpose and control. Hal Elrod's story begins with tragedy. At the age of 20, he was hit head-on by a drunk driver, died for 6 minutes, broke 11 bones, and was told he would never walk again. But Hal defied the odds and recovered. Years later, after losing everything in the 2008 financial crisis, he fell into depression and struggled to find direction again. During that dark period, he began studying the world's most successful people to see what they had in common. What he discovered was powerful. Nearly all of them had a morning routine that set them up for success. So he decided to combine the most effective habits from across disciplines, from mindfulness to personal growth to fitness, into one easy-to-follow system. The result became what he calls the Life S.A.V.E.R.S. 6 daily practices designed to help you win the morning and, ultimately, win your life. S stands for silence. Before diving into the noise of the day, begin with stillness. Silence can take many forms: meditation, deep breathing, prayer, or quiet reflection. It calms your mind, centers your emotions, and creates mental clarity. Even 5 minutes of silence can reduce stress and help you focus on what truly matters. Hal writes that silence is one of the best ways to immediately reduce stress and increase self-awareness. A stands for affirmations. These are not empty positive statements, but purposeful declarations that reinforce who you want to become. The words you repeat shape the beliefs you hold. Instead of saying, "I am successful," try saying, "I am committed to becoming the person I need to be to create the success I desire." Affirmations reprogram your subconscious mind. Over time, they replace fear and doubt with belief and determination. V stands for visualization. This is the practice of imagining your ideal life in vivid detail. You picture your goals already achieved and feel the emotions of success. Visualization works because the brain responds to imagined experiences almost as strongly as real ones. When you mentally rehearse your best self, you condition your brain to act in alignment with that vision. Hal suggests taking a few minutes each morning to visualize not only what you want, but also the process of achieving it. See yourself taking action, staying calm under pressure, and following through on your goals. E stands for exercise. Physical movement is vital for both your body and your mind. You do not need to spend an hour at the gym. Even 10 minutes of stretching, yoga, or cardio can transform your energy. Exercise increases blood flow, boosts endorphins, and improves focus. It wakes you up naturally and primes you to perform at your best throughout the day. As Hal says, if you don't have time to exercise, you don't have time for success. R stands for reading. The average person spends hours consuming meaningless content, but reading even 10 pages of a good book each day can change the trajectory of your life. When you read consistently, you feed your mind with ideas and wisdom from the world's greatest thinkers. Reading helps you grow your knowledge and develop new perspectives. Imagine finishing 15 to 20 books a year just by reading 10 pages each morning. Over time, you gain insight and confidence that set you apart in every area of life. S stands for scribing, which means journaling. Writing each morning allows you to process your thoughts, track your goals, and reflect with gratitude. You can write about what you are thankful for, what you learned yesterday, or what you want to accomplish today. Journaling brings clarity to your mind and helps you identify patterns in your thinking. It also keeps you accountable to your goals. Writing is a conversation with your future self, one that strengthens self-awareness and purpose. These 6 habits, silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing, together form the foundation of the miracle morning. They are simple, yet profoundly effective when practiced consistently. Hal emphasizes that it is not the individual habits that matter most, but the synergy between them. Together, they strengthen every area of your life, your mindset, your health, your discipline, and your confidence. But the miracle morning is not just about adding habits, it is about changing identity. When you wake up early and dedicate time to personal growth, you send a message to yourself. I am the kind of person who invests in my potential. You begin to see yourself as someone who creates their future rather than waits for it. Hal also addresses one of the biggest obstacles people face waking up early. He admits that no one likes the sound of an alarm, but your relationship with mornings is shaped by meaning. When you have a purpose, getting out of bed becomes exciting. He recommends setting your intentions before sleeping, placing your alarm across the room so you have to get up to turn it off, and drinking a glass of water right away to wake up your body. Brush your teeth, splash water on your face, and start your first habit immediately before your brain can negotiate with you. If you are short on time, Hal suggests doing the 6-minute miracle morning. Spend 1 minute on each practice, 1 minute of silence, 1 of affirmations, 1 of visualization, 1 of exercise, 1 of reading, and 1 of journaling. Even on the busiest mornings, you can still begin your day with purpose. The goal is not perfection, it is consistency. And that consistency is where transformation happens. Habits compound like interest. You may not see a difference on day 1 or even day 7, but by day 30 or 60, you will feel it: more focus, more energy, more self-confidence. The miracle morning is not about a single morning. It is about the person you become through repetition. Hal calls this the level 10 life, the process of becoming a level 10 version of yourself by showing up with intention every single day. As you practice this routine, you may notice changes not just in your productivity, but in your relationships, your patience, and your sense of peace. When you begin your mornings grounded and purposeful, you interact with others from a place of calm and clarity. You respond instead of reacting. You show up more present, more centered, and more capable of giving your best to the people and work that matter most. Over time, the morning becomes your anchor, a sacred time that reminds you who you are and what you stand for. It becomes your foundation for resilience. On good days, it propels you forward. On hard days, it keeps you steady. Hal writes, "Your entire life changes the day you decide that no matter what happens, you will no longer accept mediocrity for yourself. That decision to take ownership of your mornings becomes the turning point in your life." The big takeaway from the miracle morning is that how you start your day determines how you live your life. Every morning is an opportunity to begin again, to grow, to reflect, and to act in alignment with the person you want to be. The miracle is not in the morning itself, it is in what the morning makes possible. That was The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, broken down into its most powerful lessons. Which part of the S.A.V.E.R.S routine speaks most to you? Silence, exercise, or journaling? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this summary, make sure to like this video, subscribe to 10-Minute Books, and ring the bell so you never miss our weekly breakdowns of life-changing books. Remember, every morning is a new beginning. The way you wake up determines the way you live.